Okay. Okay, so today's lesson is on verbs. So last session we have explained the main characteristics of verbs and in terms of the forms and in terms of forms and in terms of the structure or the position of verbs within the sentence. Okay, so just as a recapitulation before doing the practice, yes, as a recapitulation, so we know that we can classify verbs in terms of forms, and the verb may be either finite or non-finite. A finite verb is a conjugated verb. That is, it is conjugated either in the present or the past or the future. And the non-finite verb is non-conjugated. And non-finite verbs in English are essentially infinitives, gerunds, and participles. So this is in terms of forms of the verb. We have finite and non-finite, that is conjugated or non-conjugated. Like, for example, here, slept. Here, slept is a finite past time. Okay, and here to sleep is a human necessity. Here we have an infinitive. An infinitive is non-finite, means it's not conjugated. It doesn't indicate any particular time, whether it's present or future or past. Okay, the verb might be lexical or non-lexical. Lexical means that it needs, that the verb needs the help of an auxiliary in order to make questions, to make negative structures or tag questions or emphasis. Okay, like when I say I speak English, if I want to make a negative sentence, I would say I don't speak English. So here, the verb speak is weak. It needs the help of do auxiliary in order to make the negative sentence. Do you speak English? The same thing. Speak needs the help of do in order to make question. So we can say that the verb to speak is lexical. So lexical verb needs the help of auxiliary in negation, questions, or emphasis, or tag questions, etc. You speak English, don't you? Okay, so here we have the use of the do auxiliary. So in here, we can say that the verb speak is lexical. Non-lexical verbs are verbs that do not need the help of auxiliaries. Okay, they don't need it at all. That is, and non-lexical verbs in English are namely the helping verbs, or what we call like auxiliaries like to be, okay, to be, to have, and the modal auxiliaries. All these are non-lexical because they don't need the help of another auxiliary. When I say I am a teacher, I want to make a question, I would say, are you a teacher? So I need just the inversion of the verb in the preposition of the subjects. That's it. So here to be is non-lexical. It doesn't need any other element or any other auxiliary to help. Or I can say, I'm not a teacher. You aren't a student. Aren't you a student? So you see in here, I don't need any auxiliary to help to be. So to be is non-lexical. Modals are also non-lexical. Okay. Sorry. Models also are non-lexical, simply because they don't need auxiliaries to make questions. When I say I can do it, can you do it? I must do it, must you do it? So we don't need any auxiliary to help in questions. Except there are some models like to need or need and dare. Okay, need and dare. I can say, I don't need your help. So here, need is functioning as a main verb. Okay, and it is lexical. Why? Because I say, I don't need, that is, I am in need of do in order to make negation. Okay, but in some cases or in other sentences, we may have, I needn't take my umbrella with me. So here, I needn't, okay, doesn't need any auxiliary for help. So here I'm not using any other auxiliary. So here need is a modal auxiliary. It doesn't function as a main verb, but it is a semi-vowel, or we call it a modal auxiliary. So the same case for there. I can say I don't dare. I can say I daren't. When I say in a sentence, when you find I don't dare in a sentence, it means that there in here is functioning as a main verb because it takes do to make a negative sentence. So it is lexical. While in other sentences you may find I daren't say that. So in here, there is a modal auxiliary. Okay, so these are the exceptions, okay, of modal auxiliaries that may be either lexical, taking the do or taking the help or having the help of another auxiliary, or they can occur in a sentence in which they don't need any other auxiliary for help. Then we can call them non-lexical. Okay, so just whenever you have any sentence and you are asked to say, or you are asked to identify, okay, the function of a particular element, try to see the context. If I give you a sentence like I don't need your help, and I say need in here, is it lexical or not a non-lexical? You may say it's lexical because you have don't. But if I have another sentence in which I have I needn't take my umbrella, here need is a modal auxiliary that is non-lexical because it doesn't need any other other auxiliary, sorry, to make a negation. Okay, so moving from lexical, non-lexical, verbs might be also either dynamic or stative. You know that. That is dynamic, that is, it's an action verb. It indicates a certain action in a sentence, like when I say the dog bites the boy. So here bite is a dynamic verb because it expresses an action within the sentence. But verbs may also be stative, indicating or expressing just state within a sentence, like she owns a car. So here it describes, the verb describes the act of the state, sorry, of owning a car. Okay, so verbs may be stative or dynamic. Generally speaking, stative verbs are verbs of perception or verbs of senses, that like taste, hear, smell, etc. Verbs of see, so verbs of senses, and also mental verbs like think, understand, and so on are considered as stative verbs. Okay. Yes. So in terms of structure and the position of the sentence, of course, the verb might be intensive, and an intensive verb is a verb that takes a subject complement, and all linking verbs are intensive because after linking verbs, you find only a subject complement. Okay. So verbs like to be, like become, seem, grow, appear, look, feel, etc. All these are linking verbs. And what you find after these verbs, you find just subjects complements. So all these verbs then are referred to as intensive verbs. Okay, so verbs can or may be either transitive or intransitive. What do we mean by intransitive verbs? الفعل اللازم. Okay, intransitive verb is الفعل اللازم. That is a verb that takes no objects or no complement. Like when I say Murray is sleeping in the garden. So here, Murray is sleeping. There is no objects or no complement after it. So it is intransitive. It doesn't take any object nor complements. So here it takes.
Teacher, sorry.
Yes.
I don't ask you. I want to ask you about in the garden. What is the function of in the garden?
Yes, a good question. This is what I was to explain. Here we have Murray is sleeping. So here it's intransitive verb. It doesn't take an object. It doesn't take any complements and so on. But here we have just is sleeping where? in the garden. What do we have here? We have in the garden is a prepositional phrase functioning as an adverb of place, modifying the verb. Okay, so why do I say that in the garden is a prepositional phrase? Because the head of the phrase is a preposition. So in is the preposition and the head of the phrase. The garden is the noun phrase within the prepositional phrase, and then in the garden is a prepositional phrase functioning as an adverb. It does the function of an adverb in showing the place where Murray is sleeping. Okay, and the same case for swim in here. They often swim once a week. In here, swim is intransitive simply because it doesn't take any objects. It takes just in here once a week. This is an adverb phrase that shows time. Okay, so transitive verbs in here are of three types. That is, the verb may either take one object, and in this case we call it monotransitive. It may take two objects, and in this case we call it ditransitive. Di means two. Or it may take an object complement, direct object and an object complement. In this case it is called complex transitive verb. I already explained this before in last session. I'm trying now just to recapitulate, to start the exercises and to do the practice to understand better. So for monotransitive verbs, for example, I take just one example from here. I took Leila with me. I took whom? I took Leila. So Leila is a direct object. Okay? Direct object. Then I took home Leila. Leila is a direct object. The verb took takes just one object. Then it is monotransitive. Sometimes the verb may take two objects, like when I say he offered her a flower. So he offered her a flower. Here the verb offer is ditransitive. Okay, it is ditransitive. Why? Because it takes two objects, one that is indirect and the other that is direct. Look at the structure. We have a verb plus indirect objects plus direct objects. Whenever you have this structure, here the verb then is ditransitive because we have the first subject here and we have another subject. So it is ditransitive. Offer here is a ditransitive. Why? Because offer here offered what? A flower. To whom? To her. How do you know the direct object? You know the direct object by asking the question, what or whom? Offered what? A flower. So here, a flower is a noun phrase functioning as a direct object. To whom? To her. So here it's a personal pronoun functioning as an indirect object. How do you know the indirect objects? You know it by asking to what and to whom. That's why her in here is an indirect object and a flower is a direct object. Good. So moving to complex transitive verbs, so the structure is here. Look at the structure. So whenever you have the structure here, like verb, direct object, and object complement, so in here automatically this verb is a complex transitive. Why? Because it takes a direct object and it takes a complement of that object. That is, the object complement is what? The object complement is that element which is additional to the sentence, is that element that we add, okay, to the sentence in order to complete the meaning of the direct object, or in order to add more meaning, okay, to the direct object. It's the object complement is more related to the direct object than the verb. Okay, so the object complement in here, they called me lazy. Okay, so you see, called is a verb, then called whom? Me. Then me here is a direct object. They called me what? Okay, lazy. So here we have an adjective functioning as an object complement because it shows who is the lazy? Me. Okay, it gives you information on the direct object. So the same case for the other examples. Like in here, we have she made him what he wanted to be. She made him. This is a direct object. What he wanted to be here, like a sentence, but we call it a clause, which is a noun clause. What he wanted to be, it's a noun clause functioning as object complement because it is related more to the direct object. So this is it. So here we have the other example. So here we have just a clarification of the object complement. That an object complement is an additional complement that refers to the object, because there are some verbs to complete their meaning. Some verbs require an additional complement following their objects. So object complements may be either a noun or an adjective. We have seen in here, we have a noun as an object complement like John, and we have happy in here as an object complement, which is an adjective. Okay, try to differentiate between the category and the function of that category. For example, here, the adjective happy is an adjective, but functioning as an object complement in here. Okay, John here is a proper noun, but it functions like a subject complement. So this is what is said here, that object complements may be either a noun or an adjective, but only a few verbs meaning make or consider take an object complement. That is only verbs which have the same meaning, like make or consider, make someone something, okay, consider someone something, for example. So all these verbs which have the same meaning, so they take the object complement. And whenever you see a structure in which you have a verb plus a direct object plus an object complement, this verb is a complex transitive verb. Okay, just quickly speaking.
Teacher,
yes, please.
We can find the verb and indirect object and the object complement.
Give me a sentence.
No, I just ask you. I don't have any sentence, but if can we find a sentence that contain these functions, verb and indirect objects and the object complement.
So when we say object complement, it means that this object complement is related to the direct object. Okay, because normally even when we talk about indirect objects, we talk about the structures like structures in which we have ditransitive verbs. That is, we have indirect object, then the direct. Like when I say, I give you. I can't say I give you and stop. Okay, so I give you what? I give you a flower. So I give what? A flower. To whom? To me. So here we have indirect, direct, then the verb is ditransitive. How can I say, for example, I give you, so how can you find such structure? If you find such structure, we can discuss it, no problem. As far as you argue, okay, for things in grammar, okay, scientifically, no problem. But you should just observe the structure and see the position of each element, okay, and ask the questions.
Yes.
Okay, ask the question. If you have the answer of what and whom, then you have a direct object. If you have an answer to whom and to what, then we have an indirect object. If you have an answer to the question what or whom, okay, and what is additional and what is after is related to this direct object, then we are dealing with object complements. Okay?
Yes, thank you, teacher. Yes.
Don't mention it. Yes, don't mention it. Okay, so I think that you have already these exercises, but just some few or some students sent me their just few students sent me their exercises. Okay, I think that's not really serious. Okay, I think that's not really serious. You should try to attempt and do your exercises. I'm doing my best to facilitate the course for you, so you should do yours. Okay, please.
Teacher.
Sorry?
Where can we send them?
Yes.
Where can we send them? You
Where
didn't
can we
give
send
us
them,
any
please?
attached in the Google Classroom.
Really? I didn't assign an icon for it?
Yes.
No, you
Okay,
didn't.
just once finished. Okay, just once finishing the course, I will assign that. And if you like to send them, but I don't advise you my mail because they can be lost. Okay, and I can not see them all the time because I have many mails. Okay, so that's why the platform is better. Once having access from next time to the university platform, so I think that you can send your exercises easily with no problem. Okay. Okay, so let's go back there to the exercises. So let's now try to do the exercises. I think that you have other exercises more than this one. I think you have them.
I think we should do them all and then
Well,
send them on
three.
the platform.
Yes, if you try to do that, that's better. And of course, we're going to correct now this, and then we'll correct others. Okay, we'll correct but this one that I have chosen in here, it's more general. That is, it tackles all the aspects that we have seen up to now, namely the subject, the predicates, namely the objects, complements, and the verbs at the same time. You see in here the last exercise, you have to describe the subject, the verb, the objects, and the complements. That is, if you just understand in here all these, and you do this exercise, we do these exercises together, I think that you won't have a problem in doing the other exercises and sending them to me. Okay, so what's the assignment in here? We have described the subject and the predicate in the following sentences. So as we said before, that the sentence has two parts, the subject and the predicate. Okay, do the first one. Yes.
Teacher, can I?
Yes.
Can
Yes, you can raise your hands and then I will choose. Yes. Yes, Aziz Rashid. Yes, please. Concerning the first one, we have described the subject in the following sentences. Just describe the subject.
Good evening, Professor and all students.
Yes, good evening.
Concerning first question, the subject is you.
Yes.
And predicate is did put the box of a pencil in what drawer?
Yes, good. So in here we have, if you have a question and you are to see where is the subject, so you should change the sentence into a statement, okay? Into positive structure. Not positive, but yes, affirmative structure. Okay, so here you is the subject and all the rest of the sentence is the predicate. Next, please. Next sentence. Yes, I need to check. Okay, can you raise your hands concerning the exercises and I will assign the names. Yes, please. Where are you? Yes. Next student. Yes, please. Yes, next student who can do it quickly.
Can I go for it, Professor?
Yes, go for it.
Stamp the envelopes before mailing them. Stamp is the verb. Okay. So
What is the subject?
the subject isn't evident.
Yes.
So stamp the envelope. So the whole sentence is a predicate, and the subject is understood from the sentence.
Good. Because good. Thank you. Thank you. Deactivate your microphone. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So here we have an imperative sentence. Then we have stamped the envelopes before mailing them. So here we have all this sentence is a predicate. Where is the subject? The subject, we say, not evident, but we say the subject is implicit. Okay, it is understood. That's why we call it implicit subject, okay, between brackets, you. Okay, implicit subject between brackets, and you put you because we are dealing with imperative sentence. Okay, next sentence.
Can I do?
Yes,
Faculty and students plan the new class schedule. Faculty
yeah.
and students is the subject or the subject, and plan the new class schedule is the predicate.
Yes, good. So here, what type of subject do we have? What do we call it when I have in here faculty and students? This is a subject.
Compound. Compound subject.
Compound noun.
Yes, good. So you say just a compound. Good. Yes, very good. This is a compound subject. Why? Because you have and you have two nouns that are coordinated. Okay, so in this case, we can say that this is a compound subject. And we have the predicate, which is planned a new class schedule, which is a predicate. Good. Next example, please. Yes.
Teacher.
Yes, please.
Please write me a letter. The subject in this sentence is you.
Yes.
And write me a letter is the predicate.
Yes, good.
Right
So,
is.
But
yes.
we didn't the number 4.
Okay, no problem. We'll go back to 4. Now he has answered number 5, no problem. So good. So in this number 5, you have you as an implicit subject because we are dealing with imperative sentence in here.
Yes.
Next, thank you. Yes, thank you. That's right. Next, number 4. The necessary changes and adjustments will also cost a good deal. Who can do it? Yes, sir.
Can I do it?
Yes. Go for it.
The necessary changes and adjustments is the subjects and compounded subject.
Yes.
And also cost a good deal is the predicate.
Yes, good. Thank you. Good. Number 6. Of course, please, once doing this exercise and other exercises, if you have any question, don't hesitate. Okay, no problem. I will explain. Okay. Number 7. No, number 6. Yes. Anyone else?
Can I do it?
Yes, please. Yes.
The cost of replacing all speed limit signs in the United States will by itself be enormous. The subject is the cost of replacing all speed limit signs in the United States.
Good.
And the predicate is will by itself be enormous.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that's good. Okay. Next, number 7.
Can I, teacher?
Yes, go for it.
Most countries already employ this system of weights and measure. Most countries is the subject and employ this system of weights and measures is the predicate.
Is the predicate, yes. Okay, good. Next. By the way, this exercise subject predicate, this is just an exercise that I have included in here or inserted for the sake of explaining the parts of the sentence. But normally in the exam, you're not required to state where is the subject or where is the predicate. I did it for you just to explain the general structure of the sentence for you to know, okay, the different parts. That's all. But that will help you identify the other categories. Because if you don't know the limits of the sentence, automatically you will find it difficult in order to identify other elements within the sentence. Okay, but that seems that you have understood the subject and the predicates. This is a good point. Yes, number 8. Number 8 was going to do it. Yes.
Can I do it?
Yes.
Your weight, according to the doctor, is 55 kilograms. Uh, your weight, according to the doctor, is the subject, and
Yeah.
is 55 kilograms is the predicate.
So here, yes, your weight according to the doctor. So here, all this is the subject, and the predicates always starts by a verb. Okay, so here, because according to the doctor, is like a positive phrase. Okay,
Teacher,
so here
sorry.
a positive phrase is related to your weight. So you keep it with the subject. Yes, sir. Yes.
It's like adverbial. It's like an adverbial,
No, it's
right?
not. No, it's not adverbial in here. According to the doctor, is an appositive. جملة اعتراضية. Okay?
Okay.
And the appositive phrase, it gives you more information about the subject. That's why it is linked to the subject, your weight according to the doctor. Okay?
Right.
So you keep it with the subject because it's linked to it in terms of function. Okay?
Teacher,
Yes, please.
concerning number 5, there's no subject. We have just the predicate.
No, we have here, please write me a letter. Here we have an imperative sentence. And in imperative sentences, the subject is implicit. Normally, the sentence is what? Normally, the sentence is you write. No. The sentence is you write me a letter. This is a sentence. But since it is an imperative, we have omitted you. Okay?
So you is the subject.
Yes, you put implicit subjects between brackets. Between brackets, you write you. Like in Arabic, when we say, for example, يفعل. For example, يفعل. He did. So يفعل. So والفاعل ضمير مستتر تقديره هو. So do you see the doer of the action? No, you don't see it. But in here,
It's hidden.
Or in here to give you the same example, write me a letter. اكتب لي رسالة. For example, here اكتب من. Okay, so here the subject is or الفاعل ضمير غير ظاهر تقديره أنت. Okay, so this is the same thing in English, but we call it you is an implicit subject. Is it clear? I'm comparing Arabic with English just to make things clearer for you and more concrete. Okay? Yes. Next. So here things become more difficult or not as easy as it seems to be. Okay? So in here, identify the objects. That is in here. You need to know where is the direct object, where is the indirect object, and what is the complement, that is subject complement, CS or CO. Good. So automatically speaking, from the question in here, when you are asked to see what is the object, direct or indirect, automatically when you have two objects, the verb is ditransitive. If you have one object, the verb is monotransitive. If you have complements and you have subject complement, the verb is intensive. If you have a direct object after the verb plus an object complement, so the verb is complex transitive verb. Okay, so let's apply this to the following examples. Number 1, will you give me a hand? Yes, who can do it?
Can I do
Can I do it? Can I do it?
Ladies first. Yes, sir. Yes, I said go for it.
Will you give me a hand? So will you give me what? A hand, a direct object, and
Good.
me, it's me to whom? To me, it's indirect object.
Yes, so we have the direct object is a hand, indirect object is me. What about the verb here? Which type of verb is this?
Ditransitive.
Good. So the verb here is ditransitive. This is the aim of this exercise, because if you know the direct objects and the indirect objects and the complements, whether they are subjects or objects complements, automatically you'll find no problem in identifying the verb as being transitive or intransitive or mono, di, or complex. Okay, transitive verb. Next, number 2. Now, Mr. That is now moving after the ladies, moving to yes. Who wanted to participate in here? Yes, Aziz is Zainab. So I start with Aziz, and then I move to Zainab. Good. Okay. Yes, yes, please go for it, Mr. Aziz.
Concerning sentence 2, the doctor knew some of the developments in the file, but not all. In this sentence, we have direct object. Object is some of the development.
Some of the developments in field. All this. So this is a direct object. So new, which type of verb? Is it transitive, intransitive? What?
It is transitive.
Yes, and more particularly and specifically?
Monotransitive, because
good.
It takes
just, yes, good. It takes just one object. Good. Next, please, Zainab.
Number 3, she told the doctor strange stories. She told the doctor what? Strange stories. To whom? To the doctor. So it's a ditransitive.
Yes, good. It's a ditransitive verb. Nice.
So it takes two objects, direct and indirect objects.
So where is the indirect object?
Whom? The doctor. She told the doctor. What? It changed strange stories.
Okay, so she told what? Strange stories. To whom?
To whom? To the doctor.
So strange stories is the direct object, and the doctor is the indirect object. So told is then a ditransitive verb. Good. Next. Who's next?
Can I do it, Professor?
We have Zainab El-Wabani. Yes?
Can I do it?
Yes, go for it.
So the barber cut my hair short. So cut, it's a verb. Hair, direct object. And the short, it's an object complement functioning objective.
Yes. No, short is an adjective functioning as object complement. Repeat.
Here it's a direct object.
My hair.
My hair. Direct object.
Yes, direct object.
And the short, it's an object complement.
Yes, good. So cut is?
Cut, it's a verb.
Yes, I know. I know that it's a verb. I know.
I think a monotransitive verb.
Why? You are saying that it takes a direct object and an object complement.
Ditransitive.
No.
Why? So we have direct object and we have an object complement.
Complex transitive.
Complex transitive because it takes a direct object and an object complement.
Okay.
Whenever you have a direct object and an object complement, so automatically the verb is a complex transitive. Here short is related to hair. Short is an adjective functioning as object complement. Okay, can you go for number 5? Yes.
Can I do?
Yes, go for it.
They considered him funny. Considered is a really complex transitive verb because it takes two objects. We have because we have him is a direct object and funny is an adjective functioning as a complement object.
As an object complement, yes. Yes, good. So consider here is a complex transitive verb.
Teacher?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith is a teacher.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
A teacher is sorry, teacher. 1 minute,
Yes.
please.
Yes. Yes.
Is linking verb
Is it
and
verb?
transitive verb. A teacher is subject complement.
Yes. So why do you say that it is intransitive? Since it takes a subject complement, so we should say that it is what?
Because it's a linking verb.
It's linking verb, and
Yes.
all linking verbs take a subject complement.
Complement.
And,
Yes.
and all linking verbs are intensive.
Yes, that's it.
So instead of saying intransitive, no, you say it is intensive because it takes a teacher, which is a noun phrase functioning as a subject complement.
Complement.
Good. Good. Thank you. Number 7. Number 7.
Can I do it?
Yes. State your name, please.
Maria Sada.
Okay, Maria.
So Mr. Smith is here. Mr. Smith is a subject. Is a linking word. Here is an intransitive verb.
No, here we have Mr. Smith is here. Yes.
Is here
So,
is intransitive.
why do you say is here? Normally, you should talk just about the verb.
Yeah, is.
Yes, is, yes.
Is it's a verb.
Yes, and it, of course, it's intransitive.
Yeah, because they taken no object.
No, but in here, just to explain that is a stative verb.
Yeah.
It's not an action verb. Okay.
Yeah.
So stative verbs, there is no action. Here there is no subject complement. There is no object. There is nothing. Here in here, here in here,
Yeah.
here in here is just an adverb. Okay. So it's just an adverb of place.
Adverb. Okay.
And you have to say that is in here is a linking verb.
Linking verb. Okay.
That's it. It's a stative verb showing just a state of being there. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Don't mention it. Next student.
I'll do it.
Okay. State just your name.
Munir al-Malki, mine.
Yes, al-Malki. Yes, al-Malki. Okay.
Plato was a famous Greek philosopher.
Yes.
The verb was is intensive verb.
Good.
Because it links the subject and the subject complement.
Good. Yes. Good. So what is the subject complement here, Malki?
A famous Greek philosopher.
What's the category of this subject complement? What is it? Is it a phrase? Is it a noun?
Noun phrase.
Noun. Predicate noun.
It's a noun.
Noun phrase.
It's a noun phrase.
It's a noun
Okay?
phrase. Yeah.
Good. It's a noun phrase functioning as a subject complement. Good.
Professor, can I ask about what if it the lexical or non-lexical the verb was? I think it's lexical.
Where is it first?
The verb should be was.
Yes, here you mean here Plato was, here was in terms of lexical, do you mean?
Yes.
No, in here was is finite past time. Yes? Non-lexical.
Why?
Why? Because it doesn't take and it doesn't need any auxiliary or helping verb to make questions and so on. That is, to be in general in English, it's non-lexical because it states on its own. Okay, that is, it is not weak like the lexical verbs like speak, swim, eat. These are lexical verbs, while to be is non-lexical. It stands on its own. It is like independent. can you tell me, give me any example, please?
This example, for
Why?
example, the
Why do you
sky
think?
is blue. Is here is lexical because it doesn't need any auxiliary verb.
It is,
It's
yes, so it
That's
is
stand-
non-lexical.
non-lexical.
it's lexical.
No, it's not. No. Why do we say you? I think that you are confused between lexical and non-lexical. Lexical means that it needs another auxiliary to help in negation, in questions, etc. While non-lexical means that the verb doesn't need anything. Okay, it is on its own, because in English the verb is weak, like speak, swim, eat. The verb is syntactically weak. It cannot move in question on its own. It cannot, I don't say I speakn't. I say I don't speak. Why? Because the verb is weak. It needs the help of an auxiliary. Okay. But in the case of to be, I say I am not. I don't say I don't am not. I don't am. I don't say that, because the to be is strong enough to stay on its own without any help. When I say I was, I don't say I didn't was. No, I say just I was. Why? Because the to be, remember, to be is non-lexical. Okay, non-lexical because it doesn't need any help of any other auxiliaries. Okay. Do you
Okay.
get the point? Because you're
Honestly, I'm still confused.
no, don't be confused. Just remember, whenever you have to be, and be sure about that, whenever you have to be is non-lexical. That's all. Modal auxiliaries are non-lexical, except need and dare, depending on the context in which they might be lexical or non-lexical. But normally was, it's a strong enough to stay on its own in English.
That's why I said it's lexical.
No. Lexical means that you take it from the lexicon, from the language, and if you want to make a question, you should fortify it, you should maintain it, you should like sustain it by another one. Since you maintain it, then it is lexical. But non-lexical can stand on its own. It's strong. Okay, syntactically speaking, I'm talking here using syntactic terms. Okay. For example, in French, the verb in French is strong. That is, you can say, tu parles. Parles-tu anglais? So here we find that the verb is lexically strong, and it can move to the preposition, okay, of the pre-subject position easily. But in English, I cannot say speak you. No, because the verb must stay in its place. Syntactically speaking, it must stay there. It is weak. It cannot move to make the question. So I need to help the verb. Since I need to help the verb, I should take do and try to help. Then the verb is lexical. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm giving you now syntactic arguments that just change your mind. Okay.
I'm sorry if I'm being inquisitive.
No, that's your right. And I'm here to explain. You're welcome at all time, Melky.
I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Next sentence, 9.
Can I do it?
Yes, sir. Shall I see? Okay, who's next? Yes, I have Sadiq. I have then Aziz Rashid. Yes, sir. Yes.
Her speech before the comet seemed effective. So her speech is a subject. Seemed is a linking verb. Effective is a subject complement.
Yes. So seem, what kind of verb is seem?
Seem, linking verb.
Yes, linking verb. But in terms of structure, that is, what is it?
Stative verb.
Stative verb.
Stative verb. Good. Next.
Intensive.
Because it takes a subject complement. Yes. Intensive because it takes a subject complement. Good. Yes, sir. Next, we move to the other example. Now, you have to describe the subject, the verb, the object, and the complement. That is, you're going to start from the beginning and take each element and try to identify it or describe it, stating all, stating the function, okay, and the category, okay? For example, I give you an example. She is a personal pronoun, subject. Seem is a verb, a linking verb, and competent is of course a linking verb and a stative verb, okay, because linking verbs are stative. Then competent is an adjective. This adjective functions as a subject complement. Then seem is a verb that is intensive, is an intensive verb. Do you get the point? So I would like you to do this in this way. To do that, you should first try from the general to the particular. That is the whole sentence. You divide it. The subject is, the predicate is. You start with the subject, you state the category, you state the function. Then the predicate, you start with the verb, you state the features or the characteristics of the verb. You describe the verb, I mean, and then you move to the objects or the complements that are joined. Is this clear? Do you get the point?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay, so go for it now. Who's going to do it?
Teacher, can I?
Yes, sir. Your name?
غور أمل.
Yes, Amal.
The old man gave the children some toys. The old man, it's noun phrase, function as a subject.
Good.
Gave verb, lexical.
Yes.
Lexical. Sorry.
Finite.
Finite. Yes, finite.
Time.
Lexical. The children.
Sorry, lexical. Finite plus time. And dynamic. Dynamic first. Dynamic.
Dynamic. Transitive.
Okay.
The children. Direct objects. Some toys. Objects. Complements.
Here, just ask the question, what and whom, okay? Because when you say that some toys is an object complement, okay, is an object complement, does it have any relation with the children? Are the children toys?
No.
No. So this is the way you should do it, technically speaking, in terms of following the structure. Gave what? Some toys.
Yes.
To whom? To the children. So some toys is a noun phrase functioning as a direct object.
Okay.
So, the children is a noun phrase functioning, because we have in here gave what? Some toys. Some toys is a noun phrase functioning as a direct object. To whom? To the children. The children is a noun phrase functioning as indirect objects. So the verb here contains an indirect object and a direct object. Then we call it ditransitive. Remember, whenever you see the verb give, it's a ditransitive.
Okay.
Remember, it's a ditransitive because there is a list in English. There is a list of ditransitive verbs and there is a list of complex transitive verbs. That is, if I want to help you more, I will advise you to go to the internet and see the list of ditransitive verbs and see the list of complex transitive verbs. In that way, you will have no difficulty in describing the verbs. Okay. Yes. Next, please. Who can do it? Number 3.
Can I do it?
Yes, sir. Go for it, please.
Through his writing, he gave us a clear, if romantic, picture of the city in 1900s.
Mhm.
Through his writing is an adverbial phrase, as functioning as an adverb. He is the subject, is a personal pronoun functioning as the subject.
Sorry to interrupt you. So concerning through his writings, in here through is a preposition. Is it?
Right.
Yes, since it is a preposition, then you're talking about a prepositional phrase functioning as adverb, as you say. Okay?
Yes.
That is, the function is like an adverb. But here we have the structure in terms of a phrase. It's a prepositional phrase. Next. Yes, please. Thank you.
He is a personal pronoun functioning as a subject.
Good.
Gave is a ditransitive verb. And
yes.
It's a finite and lexical.
Yes.
Dynamic. Us is the indirect, is a personal pronoun functioning as indirect object.
Yes, good.
A clear, if romantic picture of the city in 1900s is the direct object.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What kind of direct objects is it? Is
adjective phrase, or noun phrase?
Noun phrase. Do you know why? Do you know why?
It functions as a noun.
It's a yes, and here we have a clear, omit this if romantic. Do without it. We can have, he gave us a clear picture of the city in 1990s. Okay, so in here we have a noun phrase because we have a determiner, okay?
Yes.
And then we have clear picture. The noun phrase here, the head is picture. Okay, so the head is a noun. So we're talking about a noun phrase functioning as a direct object. Do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, next. Next, number 5. Yes, please. Anyone else? I will help you even if you make mistakes.
Can I, teacher?
Yes, Khalabi. Okay.
His stories usually have a surprise ending.
Yes, sir.
The subject in this sentence, his stories.
Yes, sir.
Have is the verb.
Yes, sir.
A surprise ending is direct object.
Yes, sir. Yes, good. So now just more clarification. When I say his stories, here, this is the subject. What kind of subject here? It's his stories. It's a noun phrase.
Noun phrase.
Yes, good. So have a surprising ending. A surprising ending is also a noun phrase. Always start with the category and then you move to the function of the element within the sentence. Okay? Then having here has one direct object, then it is a monotransitive verb. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The last sentence with whom? Yes. Yes, deactivate your microphone, please. Yes, who's next? Who can do it? Yes. Last sentence, Zainab El-Ubani. Yes.
I think the fourth sentence is still undone.
The fourth sentence? Okay, let me
Yes.
check. The fourth one? Ah, yeah, you're right. So here, number 4. Ubani, do you want to do number 6 and then we move to 4?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do.
Okay.
They needn't use their umbrella because it's not raining outside. So it's a subject pronoun. Needn't use. It's a finite present tense. Needn't. I guess it's lexical. It's lexical.
Non-lexical. Are you talking about needn't in here?
Needn't use. It's non-lexical.
Yes, needn't in here is non-lexical, of course, because it doesn't need anything, okay? But I'm talking about the verb use in here. They needn't
It's
use.
Lexical.
Yes, it's lexical. Do you understand? Because here we have used the needn't with use, and needn't is in itself in here an auxiliary that is helping use. So you have to treat use in here, not needn't. Okay?
Okay.
Because here needn't here.
It's not. Yeah, that's why I said at the beginning.
Yes, sir. Needn't here is needn't here is non-lexical. I agree. And it is there as a modal auxiliary to help the verb use. So if you move to use, you can say that use is lexical. Okay?
Use is the main verb.
Yes, this is what I want to explain. Good. Yes, next.
They didn't use what? Their umbrella. So here it's a direct object.
Good. What kind of direct object here? What is it? Their umbrella.
It's
What is it?
sorry.
We have a noun plus a determiner. Determiner plus noun is a
phrase.
noun
Phrase.
Yes. So it's a noun phrase functioning as a direct object. Then the verb use is mono or di or complex.
Monotransitive because we have just one object.
Good, good. Yes, because it is not raining outside. If I go to because it's
a preposition.
No, because it's a subordinating conjunction.
Yeah.
And then you go for the second half. It is not raining outside.
It's a subject pronoun.
Yes, subject pronoun. But which type of pronoun? Which type? Is it a personal pronoun? No.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't. So it is impersonal pronoun or indefinite pronoun.
Indefinite. It's not raining outside.
It's the verb.
To rain, here we have raining, it's the verb. So it needs a auxiliary, so it's non-lexical.
It's lexical.
It's lexical.
It's lexical, yes. It's finite present time. It's lexical, okay, because you need to constitute or to construct the present continuous. You need to be plus the ing, etc. So it is lexical because it needs the help of an auxiliary. Then it is dynamic. Okay.
It's a noun.
What?
Outside.
No, it's not a noun. It's an adverb of place. Yes, it's an adverb of place. Where does it rain, or where is it raining?
Outside.
Outside.
It's
So
a place.
it's an adverb of place. So what about raining in here? Is it a transitive verb? Intransitive? What?
It's raining.
Intransitive.
Intransitive.
Good. So it is intransitive because it doesn't take any object. It takes just an adverb of place showing where it rains. Okay? So is it clear?
Yeah.
Do you have any question as far as this?
No, teacher.
So is all clear for you? If it is clear.
We still have one sentence.
Which one? Okay.
The fourth one.
We forgot it. Yes, we can do it. Why not? Yes. Many of his characters were people in poor or modest circumstances. Who can do it?
Can I do it?
Yes. Merki? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Many of his characters were people in poor or modest circumstances. Many of his characters is a noun phrase functioning as a subject.
Yes, sir.
Where is intensive verb non-lexical
Good.
finite?
Bravo.
I got it.
Okay, good. You got it. You got it. I
Your
appreciate.
explanation wasn't in vain.
I appreciate. Okay. Because I have clever
Uh,
students, you know. Yes, sir.
Thank. People in poor or modest circumstances is a subject complement.
Yes, sir. Okay. So in here, where then is a
What?
where is what then? It is intensive verb
Intensive verb.
because it takes
Finite. It
okay.
takes a subject complement.
Okay, so it is intensive. Good.
Yes.
Yes, so this is it. Do you have any question, please, sir? Okay.